In this video, I'm going to show you how to use n8n in order to extract all of the data, or at least as much of the data as you want, from a Google Sheets document and be able to pull all of the information from each of the sheets in one single process, rather than having to use multiple get sheets requests and trying to figure out where the data was. Instead, we're just going to all put it into one single thing in one pull. All right, and so here we go. I have a Google Sheet over here in a document, and it's a whole bunch of keyword information from Google Keyword Planner. I have sorted it with through various processes I've got in another workflow into 31, it's supposed to be 30, but 31 keywords that I've processed that I want, as well as some proposed titles and descriptions and tags for a video that I want to put out. So I've created a bunch of SEO data and I've put it all into a single Google Sheets document, as well as other mentions of other videos that I might have done in the video. So you'll see there's no data here, but we do have a sheet for it. So I've got 4 sheets that I want all of that data pulled at one time and collated into one single thing that gets processed through the rest of my n8n workflow. All right, and so what I've done here is I've set up a Google Drive trigger node, and that's because I have my Google Sheets document here in Google Drive, and you'll see it's a Google Sheets output from another workflow that I have that gets keyword data from Google Keyword Planner. It sorts it all into the highest performing keywords that I could have. It writes a title for me, a description for me, and proposed tags, as well as references any videos that I might have mentioned in that video as well. But you'll see there's 4 different sheets in this Google Sheets document. And I want all of that data in one go. I want all of that data to be able to be processed in one shot, rather than having to have 4 separate get Google Sheets nodes that I then have to cross-reference and try to figure out how to hook up all properly. Rather, let's just put it all into one set of data, and then we can possibly process it with another code node later down the line, or maybe run it through an AI agent to take all of the data. That way it's all in one place. That's what I want, all right? And so, otherwise I couldn't find a way to get all of the data from Google Sheets without having to run several instances of Google Sheets nodes. And running several instances of Google Sheets nodes may cause you to run up against rate limits. Instead, let's just pull it all off of one sheet and run with it that way. All right, so with that, it's in my Google Drive there. I'm going to download it. I'm doing that by ID. So if I come here and I run this guy, it'll find my spreadsheet. I'm going to get the ID, and I set my options to Google File Conversion here because I'm downloading with Google Drive. It's going to turn my Google Sheet into a CSV. Now, technically speaking, you don't have to use a Google Drive node to do this. You can use an HTTP node to download it, but then you have to process it and get it to become a CSV anyway. So I just have it set to this. It's nice and easy. I just put it into my Google Drive. I push these 2, and away it goes. All right, so now I've got my Google Sheets document here. It's been downloaded. The next thing I want to do is I actually want to get the sheets from the document. All right, because currently it's just one document that it has. It's a Google Sheets document. But I want the actual sheets on it so that I can pull the information from each individual sheet. That way it can be categorized and organized later on. So I call the Google Sheets endpoint. So it's just sheets.googleapis.com/v4/spreadsheets/ and then we're getting the ID from where we got it originally over here on the Google Drive trigger. All right, and what we're doing with that is we're just pulling that using my Google Sheets credentials. We're going to get that information, and it's going to give me all of the information for the Google Sheet. I'm getting all the information. It even tells me my formatting and how everything's laid out, my themes. But then here, if we come further down, we see sheets. So I got sheets, my first one from GKP. We'll come over here and check. Yep, from GKP. Next should be sorted. They're sorted and finalized and reference videos. That's exactly what I wanted. It's got all of my rows, and you'll notice here this one has a 3,300 row count. Well, this one only has 1,000, and this one has 1,000. And we'll come over here to my sheet. We'll scroll down. Did it get all of my rows? Yep, 3,300. It's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. Now we have a code node. we're taking all of that data. We are going to extract out the Google Sheets IDs from it so that we can run it through sheet by sheet. All right. And so that's what this does. It literally just pulls out the Sheets IDs so that we can use it later. So feel free to copy that code if you'd like. So there we go. We get 4 items associated with my 4 sheets. And there is my sheet ID. And let's see if I come up here, does it give it to me? There is my sheet ID. So we go 079, 079. That's the right one. Perfect. All right. So then we're going to loop it through through an HTTP, well, through a loop node, but into an HTTP request node here. And the HTTP request node is pulling the same endpoint, really. It's the sheets.googleapis.com/v4/spreadsheets. And then we're doing the sheet ID /values/JSON.sheetName. And we're doing sheet name because that is what works. Honestly, it works really well based on the sheet name. I guess you could do it on the sheet ID as well, but sheet name works. That's what ChatGPT helped me write, so it works. All right, and so when we run it through, it's going to loop through. Come on, I guess I'm going to have to. Come on, loop through for me, buddy. Oh, let's do this. Loop through. Okay, so it loops through once, and it'll output all of the information from the sheet that it pulls. All right, so at the moment it's only done one, and so we'll see that it's gotten me all of the data from all of that Google keyword planning info that I had, all 3,300 listings. All right, so it's actually 3,299 because the first row is the headers, but 3,300 rows. It pulled it all. It got me my keywords. It got me my volume and all the other data. But you'll notice, like, my headings are gone, right? It's just kind of value 3297 and then 3297.0 and 3297.1. So it looks like the headings for the columns didn't really get through. And that could be a problem if we didn't have the miracle of, computers, right? So we have another code node. This code node will take all of the information from all of the sheets. It's going to create several JSON objects. Each object is going to be named after the sheet that it pulled it from. It's then going to create based on, I think I might be able to show you. I think it's this one here. This first one will take the first row, which should be your column headers, and it'll create that as the value that each item that it sees in all the remaining rows is associated with. So essentially, it's matching up the column with the row item in order to be able to output all of the information in one shot. We go ahead and hit test. It's going to loop through all of my items here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. It outputs it as a single block. So one item gets put out. And there we go. So we have my from GKP. Row 1 says OpenAI API. But if we come over to my sheet and we come way back up to the top, row 1 was actually my column headers. But row 2 is OpenAI API and 49,500, 4,900 volume. Competition was low. Competition index was 1. We can see that here, low and 1. So it has properly associated the column headers with all of the information below it for each of the sheets. And so I can go ahead and close this one. And here's my sorted. Sorted row 1 gives me OpenAI API key volume 1300. OpenAI API key volume 1300. So it's properly associated the sheet name with the rows with all of the information associated with it. So it worked exactly how it was supposed to. I guess you could go in and tweak this code node a little bit more and label row 1 with the keyword instead, or whatever the data point you're looking to do is. But for purposes of this, all I really wanted was to associate all of the sheets into one place, and each of them have their rows properly filled in with all of the data. So now I'm able to go ahead and I can further process this down the line. So maybe I need to just grab from my finalized sheet the rows, all right? So that's just a matter of processing finalized and then the rows, right? And it'll be able to grab the titles and the proposed descriptions and everything. as if I would want it to. And so now all of my data is in one place. I didn't have to call Google Sheets and have it spread across multiple different items in my schema. So moving forward, so let's just go ahead and add in an AI node here just to show you. So I can go ahead and close that one. And here's my objects. Here's my schemas for each of the things. So I can come in and grab, just say, the rows. There's row 1 if I needed it based on whatever. If you need to process it further, you can run it through a code node in order to be able to separate out whatever it is you need. But this was honestly the simplest way I was able to find to be able to aggregate information about various clients across different sheets that I might have had. So I might have had one sheet associated with one workflow I was working on, another sheet associated with another workflow that I was working on. And then I had to go back and try to figure out how to connect all of these things together. And with this, it allows me to do it one client at a time. If you have a separate code node that comes after here, if every single one of your sheets has the same first column, which might be like company name or client name, you could then aggregate all that data together under a single methodology in order to be able to process the information client by client rather than doing it row by row like I have here. But for purposes, that's how you get all of the information from a single Google Sheets all at once. And this is really, really helpful if you have a sheet with, say, like 20 or 30 sheets, individual tabs associated with it, right? You don't want to have to create 20 or 30 different Git Google Sheets nodes in here. I might recommend adding in a wait. So you just go hit wait if you have that many, just because that is a lot of Google Sheets to have to go through. So you just do that like that, and it'll process it. It'll wait 5 seconds. You might even like knock it down to 3 seconds in order to be able to process all of them before moving forward into the code node that aggregates it into one item. So if you found this video helpful, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, because it really does help to get this content out there to the people who need it. Also, be sure to click the link in the description below to join my free school community, where I have additional tips and tricks, as well as over 25 different n8n workflows that you can use right now to be able to scrape leads online, to be able to process data, to be able to generate workflow, marketing plans, and all kinds of other workflows that are really helpful for the business owner. I'm Bradford Carlton. Let's automate your success together.